In some ways, it sounds like you become a mentor, which all of us need, at different stages of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all these skills, all
Mm-hmm.
these interests, all these ideas. So somehow or other, this blossomed into the National Queer Arts Festival.
Yeah.
How did that happen, and where did the germ of the festival begin?
Well, it started with the Queer Cultural Center, which is my organization which produces the National Queer Arts Festival. In like 1992, the city, after the insanity of Festival 2000, called a Cultural Affairs Task Force and ended up appointing 52 people to the task force. And it was a very difficult process that took 2 years to find out how we could develop new programs in the city that did not just fund the major arts organizations, not the opera, symphony, and ballet, but that looked at the majority of the people in San Francisco, people of color, queer people, disabled people. How do we bring them into the fabric of things? So, and not just bring them into the fabric of things, because these organizations, the bigs, were doing that to some extent, certainly, but how to give them ownership over the work and have that authentic voice. So we worked for 2 years on this process and came up with a way, got it funded, ended up getting funding for the Queer Cultural Center. And shortly thereafter, well, not shortly, 4 years later, we finally had our first festival.
Wonderful. Now, for those people who may not be familiar with Festival 2000, that was an event that took place in the late 90s that was not very successful, that was disappointing to a number of people, and a number of people felt that, well, maybe the city couldn't handle an event like that or funding like that. But what grew out of that fiasco, if we may use that word, is something that has worked really well in terms of serving a lot of people, as well as Afrosolo. So, you started the festival. This year is what year for the festival?
This is number 11.
Wow.
This is our 11th festival, and it's our largest festival.
So tell us about this festival and what people will see.
Everything.
Let's go with the where, when.
Okay. The where is in 20 different venues across San Francisco, primarily South of Market Cultural Center, SOMARTS, and the LGBT Community Center, the Garage, Mama Calizo's Voice Factory, which is the old John Sims Center, and many, many other venues.
Just throughout the city, which is really nice. And people can get brochures at different places.
People can pick up these fabulous catalogs, which have June Jordan on the cover.
Yes. What's the website?
Website is www.queerculturalcenter.org.
And is there a telephone number?
There is 864-4124. And they can get additional in the 415.
Okay, wonderful. Now, what are you hoping your audiences will get from the performances that they see?
I'm hoping that they come away with the knowledge of the breadth of queer art in this city, and nationally, because we are bringing in national artists. I want them to, whatever show they go to, whatever discipline it's in, and this year we have covered more disciplines. We are doing a men's music festival. We have a rock opera, a regular opera. Tonight is queercore bands. At El Rio we have musicals. So we're doing a lot more different types of things, plus spoken word and things like that. But I want them not only to get the breadth of and the ability of these artists and to support these artists by coming to these shows, but I want them also to look and think about the theme of our festival this year, which is fringes, margins, and borders.
Wonderful.
And what we're talking about are not just because you're in the queer community that you're on the fringe, but I can check a lot of boxes. I'm African American, and I'm a woman, and I have Native American in me, and I'm a lesbian, so there are a lot of boxes I can check in there. And it's about making people feel entitled to take center stage, no matter what borders are set up to keep you out.
Wonderful. Now, this is multicultural in terms of everyone is invited in terms of the queer community to participate. And of course, everyone is welcome to come to the event. But in particular, in what ways does the festival give voice to the Black LGBT experience today?
Part of our, mission is, a huge part of our mission is to support the traditionally ignored voices in the queer community. So this year we're increasing, we almost always have at least 60 to 70% people of color, in addition to our board, which is also governed the same way. We have to have a majority of people of color on our board. So I think that what we're doing this year, the Men's Music Festival, as I mentioned, is about 50% African American guy writers. Yes, Blackberry.
I saw him
finally getting to curate a show. He's so excited.
He's very excited about it.
And he's got Deep Dick Collective himself, Cedric Brown.
Oh, wow.
Who's going to be doing some incredible jazz singing.
Yes.
So we have every type of discipline in that.
Wow.
We have Guy Writers, a multicultural men's writing group that's doing a lot. We have, as I said, just about every program has that voice somewhere present.
Good. Now, in terms of the festival, how do you see the work that's being done in San Francisco in comparison to work that's been done in other places? Like I know the other night, there's the Highway group was here. So how do you see the work that's happening here with work that's happening other places?
I think because we have so many people here, because so many queer artists have come to San Francisco, that we are in some way shaping the look of what things are being done in a way that I see some wonderful work coming out of New York. I see some great work coming out of LA. I still think we may have the market on cutting edge work, however.
Edge. Great. Now, what effect has the National Queer Arts Festival had on you and your artistic development?
Well, what it's done is it's developed me as a curator and as a director. It's pretty much quashed my scene design career because I have almost no time to work in that. Yeah. I do photography now, but again, it's very difficult for me to find time to do my own art. So, but it's still, it's just so rewarding to go to a program and see people that you've invested in, literally and figuratively, come into flower.
Wonderful. There's one other person I'd like to bring up, and that's Jeff Jones. What's his relationship to the festival and your work?
Well, Jeff is our grant writer, and our, well, I can't really say that on television, but he's also a disturber. He's our Politico. Yeah, rabble-rouser. That's really good.
In a positive sense.
In a very positive sense. Yeah. Jeff has an amazing commitment to see queer art be funded by everybody. He's, very passionate about that.
Now we have about 30 more seconds for you to speak. Could you tell us why people should not miss going to one of the National Queer Arts Festival's events?
I think that it will change you, it will enlighten you, it will make you entertained, and I just think you have to see it to believe it.
Wow, that's wonderful. I want to thank you so much for being here and sharing this time with us. It's been marvelous. It's been inspiring. It's been really uplifting. In a couple of seconds, we do have a few seconds, anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I just want people to understand how important this artwork is and how important it is to support those artists who are really putting themselves on the line for their community.
Thank you very much.